Welcome to Spelunkers, a place for exploring video games and nerd culture. This is the Game Exploration Show, where we break games down into bite-sized chunks and discuss them with the community in exhaustive detail. Normally, I'm joined by three chuckleheads. Unfortunately, Tom cannot join us tonight. Work has him strapped, but we still have the rest of the crew. We've got Tyler.
Hello.
We've got Chris.
What is up?
And myself, Ryan, the host of the OMORI exploration. This is part 2, everything from 2 days left on through the rest of the game. Let's start with just early impressions. Tyler, how was the last half of this game for you?
Great. Game rules. Not believe I never heard about it until you brought it up, because it is very good.
Well, you're welcome. Chris.
Yeah, amazing. But just staggering how good this game is. I'm actually glad it technically came out last year because I don't have to wrestle with it for my GOTY this year. Although honestly, maybe it would make it really easy because it would probably be my GOTY. It is my GOTY of last year now.
Yeah, it is very good. I wept at the end of this game. I don't know how you couldn't. Yeah. It is a
couple
very
times.
good
There's
game.
a couple of parts where I was just like, oof.
Yeah, it came in waves.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm sure we've got a lot of things to say about the very ending, but we've got a little bit of content to get to before we get there. So we left off with 2 days left before moving day. We've got we're back awake in the real world. And Kel, well, we assume Kel. We've got a knock at the door again. And it is Kel when we go down and check. After we brush our teeth. We all brushed our teeth every day, right?
No, I missed it 2 days.
I didn't.
You didn't get the achievement for brushing your teeth?
Yeah, minty fresh or whatever.
I don't think so, but that's good. I like that. A lot of really good trophies in this game.
Yeah, a lot of really good trophies. Yeah, same difference. We've still got all the same side jobs we can do. Deliver pizza, put the tools back away, fix it. Did you do any jobs this time, Tyler?
I did do them, and they were fun. I enjoyed all of them. They were all fun. I don't know why Tom was hating on the fly one. I thought that one was just fine.
It's fun.
Up on flies.
And wasps.
Yeah, I did like the pizza one. That was my favorite. It was fun trying to decipher that.
Yeah, I ended up doing a lot of the fix it one. It's just very satisfying for some reason. To sort the shelves. Sort the shelves. You'd think I'd be sick of that considering I work in retail,
but something about enjoying
it down.
Yeah, I don't know. It is very satisfying just to put it all together correctly. But Kel is being told by his mother he's got some things to pick up before Hero arrives this evening. We've got to go get sandwiches from the pizza shop, and what's the other thing we got to get? Is there something else?
You got to get meat.
That's right, meat from the butcher. So you can choose to do a lot of your optional stuff here before you go pick those things up and deliver them. That's when I did a lot of my optional stuff. I don't know if that's when y'all got it done.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I missed out on a lot of the optional stuff for day 2 specifically. I didn't do too much.
I mean, all I really did was like pick up the trash again around the park and return that into the recycling lady and then do the jobs. So I didn't do a lot.
I think it did the jobs. I went back to the house where the guy's trying to fix his pipe.
And
maybe that's it. And it was still broken. He didn't get it fixed on day 2 either.
Did you all ever like pick out the wallpaper for the couple the first day?
Yeah.
Is there any payoff to that? Because I never found them again.
Yeah.
You can go to their housewarming party on the last day.
I missed it. That sucks.
I wound up going to their house before the housewarming party and then forgetting to go after the party was ready and moving things. So I didn't actually get to see the party. But they sent me flowers.
Oh,
that's nice.
So it's very nice of them. So we go to the pizza shop, and Aubrey and her gang are having some pizza, talking about going to their secret hideout spot later in the day. Bunch of punks. The guy at the counter's like, "Oh, you're the family that's always ordering sandwiches."
Yeah, I did like that.
Yeah, and Kel's like, "It's on the menu, isn't it? What the hell is your problem, dude?"
And then I love, like, in this moment, you find out that's like where Hero gets his name from.
Yeah, the hero sandwich.
Because
Yeah.
he just loves sandwiches. And oh no, isn't it the bakery we go to? Not meat. Is it the bakery?
Yeah. You're right.
Because we
Yeah.
find out that
Yes, a cake. You're getting a cake.
Maverick's
meat later.
family is the
Yes.
family that owns the bakery. Because
Yes.
Kel's like, you wouldn't know it because he wears that blonde wig all the time, and everyone that works there is brunette.
Yeah, you're right. The meat is on the third day, and that's optional. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, for
Kel's
Kel's dad.
Yeah.
So we get our stuff for Hero and head on back to Kel's house when Polly knocks at the door and asks if we've seen Basil. That's Basil's caretaker, Polly. Because it seems Basil's gone missing.
We're all just calling her Basil now.
Basil.
God damn it. Wait, isn't Basil a he?
It is.
Oh, yes, sorry.
He's a very
all right,
effeminate character, to be fair.
Yeah.
I thought it was female at first as well. So
It's fine. So Kel begs his mother so we can go search for Basil. We head to Faraway Park. We head to what used to be our secret hideaway, which looks an awful lot like a particular park in Dreamworld. And we find Aubrey and her gang teaming up on Basil.
I will say, I came around on Aubrey's gang near the end.
Oh yeah.
To Kim.
By the end. I don't think at this point, but by the end.
Well, there was a little bit of like give and take here where it's like I kind of understood what they were talking about as far as like Basil being there and then like them just being like, hey, can you just like get out of here? And like him throwing a big fit or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I guess I don't think we ever get like complete confirmation of what exactly was going on there beyond just the gang saying that they weren't doing anything. But Basil, I don't know. I guess Basil was probably just having a panic attack or something because he was screaming like he was having the crap beat out of him or something.
Yeah. I guess it just made me think, and obviously later on reinforces it that they're not as bad as they come across the first day. In this because they're like, hey, he's like freaking out, and we don't know why. So we didn't do anything. We promise. So.
Now, before you guys went up there, did you happen to explore Kel's house any at all?
Yes, I think so. Yeah, I go into his room. Right, you go into his room.
Did you get the pepper spray?
No,
did not.
So you can get pepper spray out of his mom's purse and end this fight in one turn.
That's amazing.
Oh, I just got my ass beat.
No, I pepper sprayed them all.
Yeah, I assume, Tyler, that you also lost because it seemed pretty impossible without that pepper spray.
I don't remember. That's where you fight everybody all at once?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember. Probably.
Yeah, they all come up as one enemy.
Yeah, I think they all kicked my ass and then Hero showed up.
Yeah. Well, after Basil gets pushed in.
Yeah, so we win or lose that fight. The rest of Aubrey's gang leave, but Aubrey loses her mind and starts screaming.
I want to know what happens when you pepper spray them. Like,
oh, they get pissed off. They're like, oh God, what? Everyone has like their own little line about like, oh God, it's terrible to be pepper sprayed. You get an achievement for the art of self-defense. And
this game definitely needs another playthrough.
Maybe a few, honestly.
Yeah.
Everybody leaves except for Aubrey, who gets pissed off at Kel. Why do you always got to be messing with our business? You're coming in here acting like the hero, blah blah blah. And in a fit of rage, pushes Basil into the lake. And Basil does not know how to swim. So it's time for Omori, Sunny, to confront another fear of drowning.
Right.
We jump in. We have to fight off another something. We learn to persist.
Yeah, the something here, like, kind of popping up underneath you suddenly with a smile, that was, like, probably the freakiest one, like, jump scare-wise, for me.
Yeah. And that's fair. Definitely, that smile that something has, the huge toothy, is quite the image.
Yeah, it's very unnerving. They only get more and more unnerving as the game goes on. I felt like.
Mm-hmm.
But it's cool. I love that idea of like, oh, you're fighting this something. You don't really know what that something is, but your whole goal is just to learn how to persist and get through it.
Mm-hmm.
So fucking smart. It's really good.
All of the something fights have been really good.
Yeah, especially like as you
symbology.
find out what something is later on, and like the symbolism there is, it's incredible, man.
Mm-hmm. We come to the end of the fight with the something, but wake up ashore next to Basil, and Hero actually got there just in time to save both of us from drowning. And do we head back to Kel's house? Does Hero have anything to say to Aubrey?
Yeah, they talk a little bit here. Aubrey runs off pretty quickly because what's his name? Kel is yelling at him, and then Hero's like, "Why are you being so mean to Aubrey?" Because he's not. I don't like. I'm curious about the character's actual trajectories here because it's been 4 years, right, since Sunny's been outside. But like Hero, he just left for college a year ago. They said or something. Is that right? So I don't know. I feel like he should know that Aubrey's not a good person anymore.
But... Is it a year or is it 2 years? I think he's like 20.
Yeah, I think it's 2 years.
He's 20.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'm just curious, like when Aubrey started turning to the dark side or whatever you want to say, because like Hero is still convinced like there's no way Aubrey would do that. Aubrey's not mean. Aubrey's a good person, which she is, as it turns out, but misguided.
Yeah, definitely a little misguided. I mean, lots happen to these kids. Just a lot. Yeah, so we save Basil. We get Basil back to... Or does Basil just go back home on his own?
We carry him back to his home.
And then we head on back to Kel's house. We get a high five from Kel.
Always high five Kel every time.
Yeah,
always.
Definitely. Yeah, so back at Kel's house, I like the fish on his wall that sings what basically sounds like a KK Slider song from Animal Crossing.
It does.
Very good. Then you can find it again later in the dream. I don't remember exactly where it shows up. I think inside Humphrey somewhere, maybe.
Doesn't it say it needs batteries, though? There was one that I found that said it needs batteries and it wouldn't turn on.
I'm not sure. And what was the other thing? Oh yeah, I
think I know where it is, but I'm not going to say it. I'll say it later. Good.
Okay. I also like how much Kel's mom is like the classic suburban mom that you've met a million times. Like when Hero says, "Oh, can we go spend the night with Sunny?" It's like his second to last day that we're going to see him ever, probably. She just like throws a fit that he doesn't want to spend time with her and runs away. And then you give her flowers. And she's like, "Oh, actually, you're such a good kid." Just classic suburban mom stereotype stuff.
Yeah, because when we get back to Kel's house, Hero and Kel want to spend more time with Sunny because he's about to move away. We wind up staying the night at Sunny's house.
We also find out that Kel wants to get out of there because they have a little sister, little baby.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, he's like, I could use a good night's sleep.
Thing's been screaming up a storm.
That's right.
Yeah, we head on over to Sunny's house and we go to bed and wake back up in the dream world. The day 2 real world seemed a little quick.
Yeah, I feel like I probably missed stuff. Day 3 as well. I mean, that was not short overall because you spend the night and then you kind of get a 4th day there too. But just in terms of like side things, I feel like I must have missed a lot because I didn't do nearly as much as that first day. The first day was like 3 hours gameplay or something.
Yeah. And we wake up in the dream world, dropped into the neighbor's room with nobody there. Mari finds us, and we've got to search for our friends through thick fog. We can swim to the north now. There's a lighthouse there. I couldn't figure out anything to do with that lighthouse.
Yeah,
me either.
I don't like. I ended up going what I thought was like, oh, I'm gonna go explore, and then it was just the right way. I don't even know if I ever went to like saw the lighthouse. I just followed. I did not follow Mari. I went a different way to go what I thought was the wrong way and ended up at the right place. So.
Do we want to talk about some alternative stuff real quick? Because
Sure.
in this section, if you have not done certain things, Mari does not meet you here. Kel
Really?
meets you. Yeah, Kel meets you here. You start with Kel from the very beginning of this section.
Oh,
He leads you, and I guess it's a lot shorter of a trip.
interesting.
Yeah.
So I wonder, I mean, is that like on the other routes where you have not gone outside and hung out with Kel? Is that what causes that?
Correct.
Okay,
Yes.
see, that makes sense because Sunny is not trying to come to terms with his guilt.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I just thought that was interesting. It'd be really cool to see how that pans out as far as like, because it seemed like a really impactful moment, just Mari and him traveling through this dense fog together to try to find everybody else.
Yeah, and I think this is when they start dropping more hints that there might be something more to Mari's death than we've been led to believe so far.
Yeah, it's the first time that characters start like calling you Sunny when you're playing as OMORI.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It just that there's something more off about the conversation. That it feels different compared
Like
to the rest
acknowledging
of
that there is a world outside of this world in and of itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's this old shack to one side of this swimming area that's got like some dead batteries in it, and then there's a lighthouse on another side that you can explore a little bit. But I couldn't figure out anything to do with those dead batteries. Oh, they're probably recyclable.
Yeah.
For money in Otherworld.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know what to do with that lighthouse though.
But did you guys ever find a good use for all your money? I had like 70,000 or something at the end.
Nope. I had so much money at the end, especially if you went and did the dino digs, because Jesus Christ, I had so much.
Dino digs. I think
You didn't do that?
Dino digs. No, I missed that.
Oh, at Orangeville or whatever.
Mm-mm.
Well, we'll get to that. Optional stuff. Yeah, good.
Yeah, so we swim all the way up and we get to the deep well and we come down and take a we take a taxi to the last resort.
Yeah, I like that you can walk forever on that endless highway. As soon as you step on that screen, like left or right, it doesn't matter which way you go. You're just gonna walk forever until you take a taxi.
Mm-hmm. And as soon as we get to the last resort, we meet Kel, and it turns out everyone's been employed but being paid literally nothing for a contract that never ends.
Mr. Jossum. And I love that Kel like calls Mr. Jossum an awesome boss, and I think he's being genuine. He thinks Mr. Jossum's like this great boss. Clearly a monster. Good name.
Yeah, good name. Yeah, for casino.
Yeah. I like there's a guy out here selling what he says is fresh milk, and he keeps saying over and over again, it's the freshest milk, I guarantee it, it's the freshest you've ever had, and then you buy it and it just says you bought rotten milk. And then you can actually buy rotten milk from the mailbox guy, and it costs like 2 compared to the like 500 or whatever you just spent on rotten milk before.
There's a few guys that are selling stuff like that. Not all of them are swindling you.
Yeah,
some of them actually sell.
Well, only one of them is mandatory, at least, that sells you the bottle of water that you need.
Yeah.
How much did you get it for?
I have bottle water. $4.90 something.
Yeah, I think guys got it for around 400 as well. One point it was like 1,500. I was like, Jesus Christ, I'm not paying 1,500.
Yeah, I don't remember how much it is. I might have it in my notes because I know I paid more because I talked to him and I was like, well, I just got swindled by your buddy outside. I'm not buying your shit. And then after I learned, I need bottled water, I came back and he's like, price has gone up. I don't know what to tell you, kid.
You can keep talking to him and it'll change.
Yeah, he raised the price by 200, so 200 above whatever the starting price is. I didn't write down how much it was.
Yeah, I talked to him like 5 or 6 different times to see how many different prices he'd give me. The lowest was like 400 something, I think.
Yeah. I guess I just got lucky on the first shot.
Some other things I love here. You can look at beer bottles outside, and they call it grain juice, which I love.
Go into the ghost party?
Yeah.
Uh,
I went in, but I didn't get everybody for the ghost party.
I did.
You did? What happened?
I did. They have a ghost party, man. That's it. You just there's a big party with a bunch of ghosts. You get a trophy.
Nice. Cool. Yeah, that's like maybe one of my least favorite things in games. So is when it's like I've run into like 3 of those ghosts already, and now you're like, okay, now go find those ghosts that you found before. It's like I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, I went back and did it, and I can't remember if you get an item or not. You might. I'll have to look it up, but I don't remember. I just remember the cutscene was very cute.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me was just like I want to see what's going to happen next with the main narrative of the game. I wasn't. I feel you. Like it would be annoying to go back and search for all of them in the first place. But like the big thing for me was like I just want to
I lied.
advance the main
You get a
narrative.
bunch of stuff, by the way. You
What's a
get
bunch of stuff?
You get a top hat from the top hat ghost, which is actually a very good item, and I equipped it and used it pretty much till the end of the game. Fruit juice, a present, a waffle, life jam, dead batteries, and a big rubber band.
Nice.
And the top hat was like the best thing. It was like a what do you call those? Item that you can equip. I can't think of what the accessory. God.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was good.
I think called charms in this accessory,
Charms,
trinket,
yeah,
charm, whatever they decide to
Yeah,
call
I
it.
can't remember the
game
name of
became.
it, but yeah, but it was very good. I used it almost up until the very end of the game.
Nice. Yeah, I didn't change equipment very much in this section. Like a lot of the stuff I got, I think I got 2 better weapons for Kel technically that raises attack, but I was using rally on him all the time, so I just kept the weapon I had on him that gave him extra juice because you can use rally every turn to heal everybody else's juice, and then use hero's call out to also heal Kel's juice, and it's just infinite. You never lose any juice and you kill everything. It's great.
Chris has got the juice.
I got the juice. I love that in this area. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I just wound up using items. I didn't have a bunch of money, but I had like 40 sodas and 40 heal items, and
I never used items. I just used hero for everything.
Oh, I definitely still used items. Kel's far and away the fastest character, so it's really easy to make sure he gets heals out before anybody else if you have somebody in trouble. Hero is like the 3rd fastest character, I want to say, which there's accessories you can put on to help with that, but it's still like, I mean, Kel without accessories is like 80 something speed, and the best speed accessory I found was like plus 15 or something. So I also love that in this area Kel plays slots like randomly in battle and almost always loses money. I think he gained me money like once.
how many times did y'all win or lose in those?
Oh, I lost like every time.
Tally.
I won once. I lost everything else. I don't know how many times it was.
Never paid attention.
I won 7 times and I lost 6.
Wow, look at you gambling, man.
I wonder if that has to do with your luck skill.
I would assume so.
Oh, maybe.
That would make sense. Did you have the accessory on him that boosts luck? Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. I'd have to look.
Yeah, this is like maybe like really the only part of the game where you have to do a lot of fighting without your full party, which is slightly annoying, but the fights aren't too bad. And because it's such a limited party and you're always fighting against 1, sometimes 2 enemies, it's the first time that I noticed that enemy emotional states affect how much experience you get. Did you guys notice that?
I did not notice that.
Oh, no, I didn't.
Yeah, it's very interesting. If they're no emotional state or if they're happy, the Gator guys were giving me 600. And if they're angry, they were giving me 900. But if they were sad, they were only giving me 450.
Oh, weird.
So I started just pissing off every enemy from that point forward, and I ended up over leveled as hell.
Yeah, I made everybody sad because I would just make them sad with OMORI and then stab them.
That's a good strat.
And use, I think it was insult was the other
mock.
Mock.
Maybe that was angry. It. Yeah. Then that wasn't mock. It was.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's like exploits, I think it's called. If they have any emotional state, it deals extra damage.
Well, there's one too that if they're sad, it does a fuck ton, and it takes their like defense down.
Oh,
isn't that stab?
No, a stab pierces
stab
through
defense.
Yeah.
I
know what you're talking about.
Like, yeah, it was very good because then like their defense would go down, and then I would just fuck them up with Aubrey super hard.
Yep.
Yeah,
headbutt's OP.
Oh, so OP. That never went away. It was. So
I finally took off headbutt for whichever one she got that hits 3 times. Because if you already have the defense
I also
lowered,
put that on. Yeah.
Like basically my strat was always OMORI started off sad because he had the sad poem or whatever equipped. So he would just start stabbing right off the bat. Aubrey would use the thing that lowers defense that she has. I would use that twice because it seems like it's 2 stages that you can lower something or raise something. And then she would start using her other ability that hits 3 times. And then, what's his name? Kel would always just be using Rally, because not only does that heal juice for your entire party, It also gives you 4 energy, which gets you up to using your super special awesome attack very quickly over and over again.
It was called Shun, by the way. So I would use Painful Truth and then use Shun, and Shun would take down their defense.
I don't even know that I unlocked Shun.
I think we had it last episode. I had it last episode. Yeah.
It's very good.
I don't even remember that one.
And the one thing that I put on too was Power Hit for Aubrey, because that shit would fuck people up. And this is the area that I learned that you could continue to like add emotional states to your characters. I didn't realize like it went further and that you could keep compounding it. So like I would just make Aubrey angry. I didn't know that I could keep going and make her enraged and do even more damage with her headbutt. So once I found that strat, it was fucking game over, man.
Yeah, that was my strat, was to make her enraged, Omori sad, stab, headbutt.
Yep. Yeah. I would go depressed with Omori and make him super sad.
Doesn't take much.
Fuck. No, it doesn't. Let's see.
Yeah, Kel tells us we've got to get that Aubrey's on the 5th floor, doesn't know where Hero is, so let's try to find Aubrey. So we fight our way in, we get to the back of the elevator. There's a picnic basket in the elevator. Great place for a picnic. But without a key card, we can't get to the 5th floor. So we start exploring floors. I just went bottom up. I don't know what y'all did.
I also did. Real quick, they won't let you go up the elevator until you go to the bathroom. You take Kel to the bathroom. He says he really has to go. And in there's like a hole you jump in and you pick a videotape either with Omori or Basil's name on it. Did you guys... You guys did this?
I have no idea what you're talking about. What?
I missed this because doesn't that hole open up after you pick up a letter for Hangman?
Yeah.
So I picked up the letter and then didn't interact with the hole until and like as I'm walking out the bathroom door, I'm like, oh shit, I was supposed to interact with, and I go back in and the hole was gone.
Yeah, it disappears after you do that as well. So like you can grab a tape with either Omori or Basil's name on it. I don't even remember what's on it. I just remember being very confused about what the fuck this is supposed to mean, which learning more about Sunny and Basil's relationship, it probably makes more sense. I want to go back and look at what was actually on those tapes.
Yeah, I missed a lot of those holes that opened up too because I didn't realize that you could go inside of them. I think I only
a lot of them are little jump scares.
Yeah, I only went like 2 or 3 of them.
I think this might be the only one I went into. I didn't go into very many.
I think this was the only one I missed. Yeah, so we start going through floors. I think the key card's on the 2nd floor.
Sure.
Yeah, I think so. Also, Life Jam guy, Kool-Aid Man ripoff is in one of the bedrooms and beats the absolute shit out of you to show the value of Life Jam.
I love that.
It's great.
I love that. It's so good.
He did the same thing in
Aubrey. After you get Aubrey.
Oh, you went back down with her?
Yeah.
But that's what he does in the junkyard the first time you meet him. It's like he fights you and he beats the shit out of you.
It's so good though.
Okay. And now I did. He gave me the Life Jam to use, and I accidentally used Life Jam packets, so I was a little upset about that. But it turned out the game was not so hard that I needed those jam packets anyway.
Yeah, I don't think I used any of the jam packets I got. So we get the key card. I just went floor to floor anyway. I finished exploring. There's an area where you need Aubrey to explore further on the 4th floor.
The construction area,
yeah.
You guys meet Gator Mom. I like Gator Mom.
Yes, Gator Mom's great.
Yeah, and I love all the guys on the 4th floor like talking about, hey, our mom's here. Oh, really? Oh, you should go say hi. It's dumb, fun dialogue.
I love this area a lot. I like this hotel because of all like the weird interactions with everybody that's like playing slots downstairs, and then I like the Gator dudes that you have to fight. I think they're just like really cool designs, and then the boss fight that it goes into is so fun, I think.
Yeah, I also love the basement floor where everyone's in the break room. They're like, we're not going to fight you. We're on break. We're not.
Yep.
Yeah,
so good.
Yeah, also in the construction area, once you beat the Gators there, they won't fight you again. They'll just be like, whatever, you were lucky, but they won't fight you again. Yeah, I took a screenshot in the casino area of talking to one of the slot guys who says, I love watching my herd-earned bunny go into this machine and never come out. Just watching it all disappear.
Yep.
It's great.
And there's on one of these floors, there's a lady who proclaims herself to be like the rock, paper, scissors world champion and bets her entire life savings over a rock, paper, scissors game with you, and then you beat her and you get 3 clams.
I didn't do that. That's great.
Had me laughing pretty good. Yeah, so we get Aubrey after exploring the floors, and then we head up to the 5th floor to go meet Mr. Jossum and get well, Aubrey's on the 5th floor, right? She's the receptionist for Mr. Jossum.
Yeah.
And we've got to break her free.
Yeah, before
And
that,
Kel.
down that hallway, I love that all of Mr. Jossum's ancestors are like actual pictures of sharks.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just real shark of varying lengths of age. Some were like 80 years, and some were like, yeah, this one lived for 10 years. Mr. Jossum gets angry because Aubrey doesn't answer the phone for like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
So he's just a great guy. We get in to fight him, and he like calls in all his guards to fight us instead of him, which was interesting because it's this balance of trying to get the guards down so you can hit him in the end of the turn. Unless just taking his guards down eventually wears him down. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, this is after Hero comes out and joins your party and stuff, because you fight with him in the party. But like, he was gonna let you go until you asked for Hero. He's like, I can't let you have Hero, you freaking idiots.
Yeah, and the other way that he'll let you go is if you kick his ass, and then he'll tear up the contract.
Yeah, because Hero's just like the best employee he's ever had.
Yeah,
like, I love. There's a line. He's like, I was thinking about paying you a wage at some point.
Yeah, and he was like, "Oh, I'm honored." Hero's line was, it's very funny. But yeah, there's like a statue of him in that construction area that we were talking about earlier. This is employee of the century, I think it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which fits very much within Hero's character that we've established so far, that he would be that kind of employee. So, love it. After
he says he was like a son to him.
Yes, I was like, okay, don't have sons, friend.
All right, buddy. Yeah. So we fight through waves of gators, and Mr. Jossum calls in Pluto, his other best employee. And we get
a fucking fight. I think his fight is so good.
It's so good. He's even more muscular.
Yeah, the fight, like, I don't know, he just like seemed to pass most of his turns for me, at least, which was really weird, but it was still a super cool, like, cinematic thing. And I like, also, we skipped over this real quick, when you start Jossum's fight, the like animation of the shark bite coming down to start the fight is really good, instead of just like, fading out or whatever. Also, one more little thing we skipped. I tried to read through my notes as we're going, and I'm missing stuff. I love when you're riding up the elevator. It's like this really long elevator ride with this classic elevator music. And it turns out it's Kel singing the music. Aubrey slaps him and tells him to stop it. And then the rest of the ride, there's no elevator music.
Oh, I don't think I rode the elevator with just Aubrey, Kel, and OMORI. I don't think I got back in until after I had Hero in there. And by that point, you get like the speed pass.
Yep.
So I missed that. That's cool. I like that.
Anyways, we're fighting Pluto. We can continue.
We're fighting Pluto. Yeah. It's a 2-phase fight. He just is the most muscular planet you can possibly imagine. We take him down, and then he's like, Mr. Jossum, I can beat these kids. I gotta unlock my final form. And Jossum tells him it's not worth it. Don't hurt yourself. We'll let him go. So we get Hero back. We rip up the contracts. We get when I flex, I feel my best achievement by beating expanded Pluto.
Right.
Yeah, and then Pluto just walks through the elevator door in the back. He doesn't go in the elevator. He just walks through the door and makes a big Pluto-sized hole. Did you guys go back there and talk to him?
I did.
Oh, no, I didn't even think to do that. God.
Yeah, because he's our buddy.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah,
because he tells you, he's like, I don't want to fight you. That's like when he starts a fight.
Yeah, but you go back there, and he tells Kel to show him his flex again, and he does, and then he just like beats the shit out of Kel. But Kel gains 50 hearts and loses a tooth, it says.
Yep.
That's great.
I mean, it's kind of worth it. He gets a fuck ton of health from it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish I did that. 50 health is quite a bit this stage, but I missed out on it, and I still didn't have too much of a problem. So we return retake our search for Basil, and people are forgetting exactly what we're doing at this point. We get back to lobby of the casino, and they're like, "What does Basil even look like anymore?" And they try to draw a picture of it. Aubrey and Kel try to draw a picture of him, and we don't get to see it, but it doesn't sound like it came out great.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that when you get down here though, before they draw the pictures. Yeah, they're starting to forget. I like that Kel is like super hyped that they're getting back to their search for Basil and like literally runs around the lobby and high fives every single person that you can see on screen. Kel's the best.
It's a good game. Good stuff.
Good. Yeah. So we head out. We see that shady sprout mole.
Mm-hmm. You guys trade your clams for Clems?
Of course.
Of course.
It's the currency of the future.
Cryptocurrency, baby. Yeah, you can get your clams back, so it's fine. But clams are definitely useless.
Absolutely useless.
No mining for Clems. I shouldn't.
No, you should not build a rig to mine for Clems.
Okay.
No.
That's what I was gonna ask.
Worth it.
Did you still fight the shady mole then, Tyler? In the construction area?
I don't even remember him, so not even. I didn't write any notes down about him, so I don't know if I did anything with him at all.
Okay,
Might have.
You can go beat him up a little bit later to get your clams back, and also you can see like the bed that you gave him earlier and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
and he likes to throw dynamite, which just hurts everything on the screen, including himself.
Yeah, then I don't think I fought him because I didn't fight anybody like that.
Oh, well. And there's my favorite enemy in this game in that area is the mussel.
Yes, in the undersea highway is where we're.
I love that enemy. That is my wormhole from this game. It's the mussel.
Yeah, it's so clever.
It's very good.
Just a big, strong arm inside of a seashell.
I believe I messaged Tom when I saw that, and I was like, "Muscle do anything for you?" He goes,
Come on, Tom.
Fine. But I actually left here to go and do the Ghost Party side quest.
Okay.
And that's when I got to the Orange Oasis. And you guys said you did not get there, right?
No,
yeah, I didn't.
I don't think
so. So there is a train that you have to take you get the train pass from Space Boyfriend. And so you go to, let's see, you board the train at Cattail Field, and it's like blocked by this dude, and you get on this train, and it's like super weird because it's like full of like people and like luggage, and it's just like floating. It looks like a train that's like going like death or something like that, like a death train. It's just like floating objects all over the place, and like people aren't really talking, they're just kind of standing still or whatever. And they're all like blacked out and just like sitting on the train, and then like the lights kind of go out, and then there's like spiders all over the fucking train. And it gets like really dark and creepy and mysterious, and as you like walk through the train cars, a something pops up, and it's like this really weird looking fucking deer type creature, and like you have to fight it, and it's very crazy. And then after the fight, like all the strangers like turn to toast.
Wow.
So like everybody on the train is turned to toast, and you come out at Orange Oasis, and Orange Oasis is just like this weird sugar plum fairy kind of a land. There's just like treats and shit all over the place, and there's like the main focal point is this pyramid where you do dino digs, where you have to pay like 100 clams to go in, and like there are these different spots throughout the map that you can get these spoons and you dig it up. You can get like all kinds of different items, like healing items and stuff like that. But there's 4 layers to it, and enemies are fighting you as you go through this. And you're like making your way up to the top 4 layers, and you get like a ball or something for Kel at the top of it. But it was just a really cool little side thing that you could do. We're just going through and like fighting enemies, digging up treasure. You get like to somebody. It's called the Thank You Fossil, and there's like this side quest where you have to get this fossil and give it to somebody named Jelly inside the Oasis. It's so a lot of fun stuff. The cool thing, and like just to get there was very cool.
Yeah,
there's a lot of fun hidden
Sad
things.
I missed that.
Yeah, and one of the ghosts is there as well. So like that's the whole reason I knew about going there. I was like, I need to get this fucking ghost, because I was looking up a guide. I was like, oh, this place is cool, and it was very cool. Dino Dig is awesome. Good way to level up.
Yeah, I wound up leveling up at the sea cow farms where you've got to just beat squizzards. And if you talk to that guy over and over, he's just like, "Oh, there's still more squizzards outside." You just keep going and fighting squizzards over and over. Which good
Yeah.
name. I like squizzard.
Yeah, I like Squizzard. I also like there's a sign, I think it's right outside of the sea cow farms. This is like, or maybe it's when you're gonna drink the milk to heal inside the farm. It says fresh and chunky sea cow milk. That's real gross. I don't like it, but I also love it. A few other fun things on the undersea highway. I like there's a sign for Jossum loans with 50% APR.
Yeah, I wrote that down.
Reverse mermaids are another great enemy where their lines are literally like backwards, and their HP bar as well, and their name, everything is reversed, as well as obviously they have legs and a fish head.
Something I noticed at this point, I went in to check equipment, and Sunny's knife, no, it's Omori's knife, I guess, is dull now. It was a shiny knife like on day 3 days left, our first episode. So it's like been getting dull over time.
Interesting.
I mean, we haven't really got to that yet, but like this is kind of like going into like the ending sequence of this. I mean, were there any other side quests that you all finished before you and did all this stuff?
Think
I did.
no.
I did do the joke one. If you guys didn't,
I should have. I had the jokes, but I didn't go back. Yeah,
I did do that one. Later.
It wasn't a great payoff.
No. She was just like, "Thanks for telling me a joke," and she gives you a sword called the LOL sword that literally says "LOL," like the sword is in the shape of LOL.
I did get that. That's right. Forgot I even did that.
Because after this, I didn't do any other side stuff. So.
Well, I mean, after this is basically like the final dream dungeon, right?
Yeah.
Basically, yes. The only other thing that was fun here, did you guys fight Snaily?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Get the fuck out of him.
Yeah. Several times.
Every time, yeah.
You don't have to fight him at all. You can pay the fine to get around him at several different points. But otherwise you fight him 3 times and he gets progressively stronger. And it was never like really a problem. But I like that the first 2 times you fight him, he stops you and is like, okay, that's enough, and walks away. But then the 3rd time, you seriously just fucking murder him. He just dies. But then he comes back again later in the Humphrey stomach. So I don't know. He's just like Kenny from freaking South Park.
Yep. Yeah. And he kills himself in the Humphrey stomach.
Yes. Yes, he does.
Lets himself get digested. Yeah, well, I guess unless there's anything else, that is our next destination is Humphrey. We're going to Pinocchio ourselves. Go inside of a whale.
Did any of y'all go back to Basil's house before this? Basil's house?
No.
In the dream world?
I don't think so.
So if you go back to his house, you didn't water his flowers or anything?
No.
I think I tried on this day and it wouldn't, like I tried to water him and nothing happened. I did on...
So if you go all the way back to his house, as you go, it just slowly more and more like fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
And like you go inside of it and it's just all run down and like folding in on itself. And like I'm trying to think of the best way to describe the tree. Wilting, I guess. I don't know, but it just looks like everything's like got acid poured all over it, and it's just everything's fucked up. Everything's fucked up.
That's good foreshadowing.
Yeah, a lot of symbolism there. And then you go inside, and like the inside is all rotten and just disgusting. It's fucking terrible, terrible. Because it's so crazy from the beginning of the game, where it's all this like beautiful, lush greenery all over the place. He takes care of these flowers, and you just let go, and everything's just fucking destroyed. I thought that was really cool. And then I went to Inside Humphrey.
Yeah, Humphrey tells us he's got sea witches inside of him, and that Sweetheart went in there.
Yeah, we saw Sweetheart briefly earlier on the highway, and she said she was on her way to create her perfect partner because she already got divorced with Space Boyfriend, Space Ex-Husband.
That's right.
Yes.
You can find Space Ex-Husband doing karaoke at a diner on the highway. Poor man.
Yeah, I love that Humphrey's first line, and he continues to use these puns, is whale, hello there, friends.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very good.
Reminds me of when we were recording Resident Evil story. It was like, whale, whale, whale.
Yep.
Yeah, very good stuff.
I wouldn't know anything about that. I listened in though. Yeah, so we get inside Humphrey, and we've got to meet each of these sea witches. There's a bunch of puzzle rooms here, and at the end of each one, we see like each witch's attempt to make a new partner for Sweetheart. But any particular puzzle you want to talk about?
They were
guys?
all super fucking fun. I think they were all great.
I love this dungeon, and I know this is Tom's favorite dungeon and his favorite music in the game. You said,
yeah,
it's a very good dungeon. I think the pattern one's a little simple.
Yeah, which pattern one?
You've got like that 3x3 grid. Is
that the one where you have to stop the bomb?
No, you're just stepping on tiles.
Well, that's one of like 3 for stopping the bomb.
Yeah.
Oh, is that part of the bomb? Okay.
Yeah, you have to like 3 for the bomb. The whole bomb sequence was awesome. I think that was
very
really
funny.
Smart, and I think the puzzles were like perfectly executed, where it was like the right amount of difficulty for all of them.
Yeah, the red one especially with the worms, like that took me a few goes through there to be like, oh, I see what they're doing now. The waterfalls.
Yeah, but then when I saw that, I was like, oh, I feel so fucking smart.
Yeah, that one was good.
Yeah, it was great.
This
is the one you're on a raft for one of them.
Mm-hmm. Collecting Humphreys to make bridges.
Yeah, I like that as well.
Man, I love all of their dialogue when you're making them into bridges. They're very goofy until they're not later. But this is definitely not what I expected going into a whale stomach, all these like labs and stuff, but it's very cool. This game always, like, the key to this game's humor is it always goes a step further. Like when you think you got the joke, it goes a step further, and it's great.
Mm-hmm.
Did any of you accidentally blow up the bomb?
No.
I did once, and I like that it just spawns you right in front of it, but with 1 health, it doesn't boot you to last save, because there is a save like half a foot away. But if you did not hit that, it would be very aggravating to die to that bomb if you just immediately attempted it because you were feeling brazen. So I appreciated that.
Yeah, good on you, OMOCat, for not screwing your player over.
Yeah.
So there's one that made like a clone, one that made a magic like amalgam creature, Sweetheart. What was the third? Was it a robot?
Like a Frankenstein monster.
Yeah.
And that whole section getting through there is just like you find out that she's been like making these creatures, and they slowly get more and more fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
And then like one starts chasing you, and that whole chase sequence with the one was like, this is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That took me a few tries to get done.
Yeah, same.
The chase.
Especially to get all the items in there along the way as well.
Same.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But yeah, did you? I touched the thing's glass. So there's a bird that tells you do not touch this thing's glass. I did not talk to the bird. I touched the glass immediately, and it just murdered me.
Yeah, I touched it like 3 times before I realized what was happening, and it opened up the menu, and I was like, "Oh, everyone's at 1 health."
Yeah.
I really love that part. There's a Humphrey that you can talk to that like is talking about this probability of success of an experiment, and he has this really complicated math formula, and I did the math, and it's just 100%. He could have just said it has 100% chance of success.
And there's some watermelon mimics.
Oh yeah.
In this area too. I was like, that's good. That's cute. But after we meet all 3 of the witches, we get a card that opens up the elevator to go further down into Humphrey, and see Sweetheart just like refuse to pay for any of the work that she asked them to do, trying to make a new partner for them, and just leave and tell them that we'll pay the bill for her, which is 1 million clams.
Yeah. And then, but before that, like, as she's trying to escape, they tell Humphrey to do something about it, and Humphrey eats her, and he says, hey, turns out she had no fucking clams. 0 clams.
Yeah, broke. 42 seasons of a TV show. No money.
That's good that she's finally out of the picture, because she was an asshole, so.
Yeah, the worst.
Yeah, a little bit. But now we have to fight these 3 witches, because we don't have the 1 million clams either, and Humphrey's hungry.
I wonder if you could come here with 1 million clams, or is the limit 99999?
Oh, I bet it is.
I have to try that on one of because I plan on playing this game again. I want to see some of these other endings. I want to try the Hikikomori route. See if I can make that happen. One of these just grind for ages to get 1 million clams.
Hey, these dig things sound like pretty lucrative.
Yeah.
Pigs are fun.
Yeah, worth a shot. But no, we have to fight the
We have to do a lot of
witches.
boss fights in a row here, basically.
A lot of boss fights.
Their fucking character design is so cool, though.
It's great.
I love it. Love it.
Yeah, it's very good. They're very strong. They're doable fights if you've been, leveling up. Not too hard, just, basically the way the game has you leveling up as you play through, but it's not going to be a cakewalk, these boss fights. You're going to have to be playing smartly, using your emotions appropriately, using items and paying attention to what you're doing.
Yeah, Humphrey took me a really, really long time. Like, I don't think I was ever really in danger of dying, but especially the last phase where he's constantly swallowing you, that just took eons.
Yeah, it's just time consuming.
Yeah, I did this fight at like 1 o'clock in the morning. And, really regret it because afterwards I was like, oh my god, it's never gonna fucking end. It took forever.
Yeah, because as soon as you beat the slime girls, Humphrey comes out and like, well, you're gonna get eaten anyway.
Yeah, he's very hungry.
Them.
He's very hungry.
He eats them, and he's just more and more hungry because they haven't fed him. They forgot to feed him today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like their bickering over whose turn it is to give him their clams, so he just eats all of them. Fuck it.
Yeah, because they also have no clams.
Yep. So we have to fight Humphrey, and this is like Chris was alluding to, very long fight, many phases to this.
Yeah, you fight the swarm of little Humphreys, and then you fight the like big Humphrey, and then he devours you, and you like keep fighting his stomach, I guess, like his insides, and he keeps eating you further and further in.
Yeah, until you make him puke.
Yeah, I love that the last fight is just as uvula, and you hit it once.
And boom, you're out, and Humphrey dies? Or just swims away?
He just goes back under the water.
He just swims away.
Yeah, just swims away.
Yeah, and I did read that Humphrey's inside of Humphrey is like a dungeon you can go back to on the Hikimori route specifically, as well as 2 other optional dungeons that we do not get on normal route.
Oh, interesting. Definitely want to do a Hikikomori route. God, this is a game with replayability for sure. There's a lot of 6 different endings.
When it comes to Switch, I might play it again.
Yeah, I agree. Just for the fact that the stuff that you get for doing the Hikikomori route,
yeah,
which is hard to say, but
you also you get your last 2 letters here from Humphrey, or the last 2 letters you need, unless you missed any. Did you guys miss any, or did you have all the ones you needed?
I did.
I had to go back and get C.
I had to get K.
I had to get E, which was just on freaking Space Boyfriend's bed. I just did not switch to Omori while I was there. Just grab it. It was super obvious.
I had to get K, which was one that I had written a note down to go back and get, and I never fucking got it. And I knew I should have fucking had it.
Yeah, Ryan, I guess you were missing the one with the kite guy, right? Because you said you hadn't done that last episode.
Yeah, that was what I was missing. I had to go out to the kite guy.
So you finally saw the kite.
Yeah, I did.
Did you fight him? I assume he's much easier if you fight him now compared to when we fought him.
I didn't fight him. I felt like that would have been because I remember you telling me you fought him the first phase, and I'm like, this would probably be an unfair advantage if I tried to fight him.
You could have done it.
Yeah, I'm still curious, and maybe I'll do this if I remember on a second playthrough. There's like he says after you beat him, like, oh, I wasn't like at full power. The wind must not be strong enough here or something. And there is a windmill you can throw something at with Kel to turn it on, but he won't fight you again. I wonder if you turned that on before, if it's a harder fight or something. I'd be curious to find out.
Interesting.
But yeah, I called last episode. I want to point out that it was black space. Obviously, we didn't have anywhere near enough letters to point out the rest of it, but black space.
You did. Definitely did. If I had C, then for sure. Yeah, but I was going blank stare for some reason. Yeah, so now that we have all the letters for the hangman, we head back to Basil's house.
Yeah, the game is very generous in giving you like a big scene showing Basil's house. Like, very obviously you need to go back there instead of just letting you wander around until you find it.
Did you guys get the item in the deep well that was like really good?
Which item? What are you talking about?
I'm trying to remember it because I didn't write it down because I'm an idiot. There is an item that you can get. Just continue and I will look for it.
Okay.
because I'm stupid for not writing it down. I don't know why I didn't.
Okay, so we get to, and so the hangman is welcome to black space. So we head to black space, and it's a lot like white space, but inverted.
Yeah, you have the whole trek to Basil's house, which is more or less what you were just talking about earlier, Tyler. But at the end is something that has created like that white thing, that white shiny zone that you walk into that takes you to black space.
Mm-hmm. And there are a bunch of doors here. There's a shore we can swim up and encounter Mari in a casket. Here, all these doors have
crazy art style things in them.
Yeah.
First of all, like amazing how many different art styles there are in here if you do every door. Did you guys do every door? You don't have to do all of them, but I did.
I didn't do every single door now.
I think where is this at?
In the black space. When you're walking to all the doors.
Yeah, I did do them all, and they are all fucked up.
Yeah, they're all really fucked up. Some of them are like only 5 seconds long, but it's just like corpses of fucking Mari laying everywhere and shit. Just grab the key and get the fuck out of there really fast. Some of them are much longer, like the beach with all the photos everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, but very cool stuff. Real quick on the letters, did you guys get a lot of? Did you guys finish? I didn't finish it, but I looked it up. Did you guys finish the hangman? Like, if you get all the wrong letters, basically, it's just a picture of what is very obviously Mari hanging from a tree.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
God. Damn. That's brutal. So we get enough keys. Oh, did you the meow room?
Oh yeah, I did not cut that motherfucker open. I was not going to do that.
I did.
Why?
I did.
You fools.
Didn't click that
it just felt like that's something that he would do in that moment in time, I guess.
Nothing there for you.
Yeah. And it wasn't until afterwards I went to go talk to the butler, Meow, and he said, "Are you expecting something to happen?" When it clicked in my head, they're like, "Oh, no, I need to stab myself." No, God. And I felt like shit for
the one where Basil is like following you around and you're breaking over watermelons. Go ahead.
I found the thing. Okay. So it's in the deep well. Going up, this is on Neo Seeker, by the way. Going up leads to a small coral tree you can take with and ask him questions about Basil, big yellow cat, blah, blah, blah. You get a bunch of explanation. A tree proposes you a challenge, and if you take it, it'll teleport you into a room in which you can pick a fruit shaped like Sunny's head. Eating it will boost all of OMORI's stats and kills the coral tree, but it boosts your stats like a fuck ton. Like 80 points or some shit.
Does that translate into the final boss fight against them, do you think? Do your stats translate at all, do you think? Or is that just stagnant? I'm not sure.
Ooh, I don't know. Because I did it before the Humphrey fight. I know that. And I fought Humphrey with it. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions still I have about
the way that this game is. I wouldn't be surprised if it did.
Yeah, it just makes it so much harder. Because I mean, that would be thematically consistent too. If like, hey, OMORI ate Sunny's head, and now it is a lot harder to kill OMORI and not get taken over by him. Yeah. Yeah, but in the black space, the one where Basil is following you and you're breaking open watermelons until eventually Basil just breaks apart into a watermelon. That was jarring. The one where Basil's head gets sliced off by an elevator was very jarring.
Yep. Missed that one.
The one with all the beds and like you're going around and the people are like asleep and you get all of the different things. I think you're picking up the photographs and like as you go back, it says, "Oh, this person is no longer breathing."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the stats for that OMORI fruit, by the way, 50 heart, 50 juice, 10 attack, 10 defense, 10 speed.
Good buff.
Yeah, pretty big buff. Anyway, sorry. I should have written that down. I don't know why I didn't.
So once you collect enough keys from these rooms, the door glows red. And you can head out that way. It's a big snowy peak. You can find a key on a picnic basket. It's the first save point in a little while, too.
Again, I was up very late doing this, and it was very frustrating.
Yeah.
It's like,
And I
oh,
think
God.
that there's 6 lights here that you walked into, and I think one of these is actually what you're talking about, Tyler, where you go to the beds, because I think that's mandatory. I don't think that's one of the optional
Is
blacksmith
it?
ones.
Oh, I thought it was one of
Oh,
the
is
optional
that
ones.
is that memory lane there?
Yeah.
Oh, where you're picking the photographs up.
Yeah.
Okay, I bet.
And these photographs are these are the photographs that are depicting Mari's death, right?
Yeah, you get the first, like, before you walk into memory lane, you get the first one, which is just like a door slightly ajar with the tree. But then, yeah, the first photo that you get that is Omori and Sunny and Mari standing at the top of the stairs. I just pit in my stomach for the rest of the fucking game.
Isn't this after you go to Basil's house or Basil's house?
You might be right, memory lane.
This is after Basil's house, because this is when you go to get the photos, and that's
Yeah, I
when
think you're
revealed
right.
to you that Sunny was the one who blacked out all the photos in Basil's photo album.
Yeah.
And that's why you go back and get all the photos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right.
That makes sense.
So I think when you go through the
That's
door,
why I was confused about when you were talking about the
yeah, when you go through the door in black space, you just wake up, right?
You wake up. Yeah.
No, there's a church. And there Basil's laying in the church, being engulfed by shadows.
Yes. That's
Okay.
True. The game gives you an option to save him, so you do. Yes. You'll appear in a small room with Basil, who will immediately get. I'm reading the walkthrough, so as I remember doing this, but the specificity of it.
That's why I had to go back.
Yeah. There's a lot of like similar things, and just so much happens in this last dream world chunk in one day left.
That's my biggest criticism of the end, is they throw everything on your fucking lap all at once, and it's a lot to fucking process, because it's just like, ugh!
And it's heavy things to process too. It's Basil gets dragged away by a set of hands. Follow him. You'll follow a bloody trail. You'll reach a struggling Basil. Interact with him, and Omori will proceed to stab him, climb a long set of stairs, and then he reaches the throne made out of 2 red hands.
Yes.
And that's when we wake up.
Yes. Which, that picture when he sits down or whatever is, this is fuck.
Yeah, that's that whole section is just oof.
Yeah.
So then day 3, how much did you guys do side stuff wise? Because I found almost nothing other than the housewarming part.
I don't think I did anything. I was just like, I need to see how this shit ends.
I dealt with Hero's Fear of Spiders at home. Like if you go back to Kel's house,
I did do that.
Yep. I went and did Remembering Mari. You can put flowers on her grave on the last day, and you have the picnic.
Did you guys see or
I did
read
the
about
Fairway Park stuff? You see Kel's family, and you get to meet.
Yep,
and you take them the hamburgers. Yeah.
Oh, I did not do that. So I didn't find it, but I did read about the Recyclist's Lair.
Same. I could not find this. I went searching for it intentionally when I read about it.
Same. It's the only dungeon in the real world, and you get to like swap between your characters, and they have new pictures for swapping and stuff. But I could not find it.
I'm looking at that right now in this walkthrough, and it looks fucking cool, and I wish I would have done it.
Yeah, it looks really cool. I really wanted to see all these different tagging photos. Aubrey punching Kel away, and Aubrey tugging on Hero's ear. I wanted to see all those, but I could not. I searched for like 20 minutes before I was like, I guess I'm just not find this thing.
Yeah, because I think the guide I was looking at said like next to the lake or something, and I ran around it a bunch of times, but I couldn't find it. I was like, you know what? I've been playing this game for like 10 hours right now, so I'm just gonna move on. It's fine.
Yeah,
I'll do it on another playthrough.
Yeah, same. The only other I went and went to the man who had the leaking pipe, and Aubrey fixes it for him.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, he still can't get it done, but Aubrey manages to fix it for him.
Yeah, and we should say for Tyler's sake that you go to that housewarming party couple's house and they burn their food. So you and the whole party cooks the food for them for their housewarming party.
Go to it later. Nice.
Which I did the help cooking food part, but I didn't go back for the party later.
Man.
Yeah, there's just some people there that you can talk to that have dialogue, and I like the two actual people that live there. Like, make yourselves at home for a reasonable amount of time, because classic housewarming party shit is like somebody makes themselves at home for the entire night.
Yeah.
Speaking of them making food, it made me think of a moment earlier that we kind of glossed over when they go to Kel's house originally and they make dinner and they're like, "Oh, you guys missed dinner. You go warm it up in the microwave." And they go warm it up and they're like, "Well, let's go eat in the living room." It's like that's such a fucking like friend thing that you would do going over to a friend's house as a kid. And it's like, oh, it's really touching.
And you pull out the photo book and relive the memories.
Yeah, oh, man,
with Hero there.
And I totally forgot it until that you brought that up.
And Aubrey joins us this morning, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we kind of just jumped into side stuff, but yeah, Aubrey, like the reason you go out is because what's her name? Kim?
Oh yeah,
Kim?
Kim comes over and says that they can't get a hold of Aubrey, so you got to go to her house.
Mm-hmm. And her parents are, or is it just her dad?
Just her mom.
Her mom watching TV. The house is full of trash. That's right. There's some more pictures in Aubrey's room that we put in the picture book. Those were all the ones with Mari in them. And there's still one missing.
Yeah.
Yep.
But we agree to hang out for the day. We get optional stuff done if we want to, but the next thing that moves the main story forward is going to Basil's house. Polly answers the door and tells us that Basil's at the hospital, and we all start panicking. She's like, "Oh no, he's accompanying his grandmother. He's not in there for..." And that we'll come back in the evening. You should be home. So we suggest going to visit the old tree house, which again, this is a chance to go do any optional stuff if you want to before you go visit the old tree house. We head back there and we find the last photo, which has a key taped to the back of it and says, "Remember the toy box," or "It's in the toy box," or "Don't forget it's in the toy box," something like that.
Something like that, yeah. On your way there, though, you pass by the tree where Mari was hanging.
It says, "Don't forget the toy box."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they
Which
put
is just
there's like a pinwheel or something that they put on it, right? Or is that afterwards?
I think that's after the house when Aubrey runs out. After the treehouse.
Yeah, because Aubrey runs out, and that's where we get the cutscene with the group hug.
Very sweet moment.
Pinwheel there. Very sweet moment. Extremely. A lot of it's crying for multiple reasons near the end of this game. Happy tears and sad tears, and
there was very emotional. They didn't really say like what has happened to Mari at this point, but that was like the first time that I remember reading that hinting at it. They're like, "I don't understand why she did it," and like that was like, "Oh, she killed herself."
So we see the tree, and that's the first time we find out that she committed suicide, or supposedly committed suicide. Everybody believes that. We believe that at this point.
Yeah,
right.
We have no reason to believe differently.
That was just a really like fucked up moment when they were like, "Oh, why did she do this?" And then they go to the tree and like you get that visualization like before you actually get the visualization really of like, oh, this child hung themselves from this tree, and that's why they're building this monument with this pinwheel and all. It just it hit me hard.
Yep. Oh yeah. That's a tough moment. This is when you can go back for the after the hug and everything. This is when you can go back for the final part of the dinner party for the people just moving in. You can go get the hamburgers from Kel and Hero's dad if you got the meat for him at the park. And there's a picnic you can have at the secret hideout with your friends.
I
but then
I didn't do any of that. I got the meat, but I never went back and got the burgers.
Oh, I went back and got those burgers. God damn it, I bought some meat. But then it's time to head to Basil's house. No, you don't want to go to Basil's house, Tyler?
This is gonna be rough.
It's tough. This is hard. Polly opens the door and tells you she's very worried about Basil because he shut himself inside of his room as soon as he got back from the hospital, and won't come out, won't answer to anything. You go inside, knock on the door, try to talk to him, but nothing.
Oh, before this, did you all go to Kel's house and play video games?
Oh yeah, there's a nice
Did you
little
get
scene
that
there.
cool little scene? All right,
Yeah.
sorry.
No, you're good.
Go ahead. I love that. I think it was Aubrey and Kel that were playing against each other. Like
Yeah.
OMORI's sitting there, and then the heroes on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff.
And you all decide to stay the night at Basil's place, so that you're there for him in case he is you're needed by him throughout the night. So Aubrey sleeps on the couch, and the three boys sleep on the floor.
Originally, Kel was going to sleep on the couch, and then
Yeah.
Aubrey takes it. I love that.
Yeah, I love
so-
Hero's got a great speech while you're standing at Basil's door about like the whole reason why everything is fucked right now to begin with is because we didn't stick together, so we're sure as hell not gonna leave each other now.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, and we'll be here for you all night if you need us. You watch a little bit of TV. Kel falls asleep in 10 seconds. I wish I had that ability.
Same.
God.
I love that because they talk about how he's a fast sleeper and like he's talking and then he goes to sleep and then Aubrey like comments on it. It's like, is he really already asleep?
I don't know how people.
The writing
do
in this is so good. It's so realistic. It's like
It feels very real.
It's so good.
And we wake up as Sunny in the middle of white space, and we meet Omori there. We take the light bulb from the ceiling and break it. And then we fight against something again, which drags Sunny into the shadows, and it transforms into all the fears you fought already. The heights, spiders, drowning. You use the skills that you learned through those fights to get through them. And it takes the form of Mari's hanging corpse. We have to continue to persist at this stage, and we learn how to overcome and get
Good
through
fucking
that part of
moment.
the battle. Oh,
Good moment.
that's a tough one.
Yeah, like this feels like, okay, this is the end. This is the final thing that this game is doing. You're overcoming your sister's suicide, and then it keeps twisting the knife a little more.
Yeah.
A little.
Yeah.
Oh man, I feel like they pulled the knife out and went and got a katana.
Yeah, it gets very fucked up very quickly.
Yeah, this is where it starts going even further into just really wild things. We reappear in front of the light bulb, which we pick up, and this is where we start walking down memory lane, right?
I believe so.
Which is just a raining highway with occasional light posts that have light shining down each time you walk under the light, and there's a little scene of your memories with your friends, and there's also photos that you're picking up along the way, and these photos are slowly depicting the day that Mari died.
Yeah, and within the first, if not the first, the second light post that you go into, out of 6 of these, and this is a long sequence, you have to walk really far every time you get to a new light post. You already know what happened, and it's fucked up. And there's just a pit in my stomach, even talking about it again now. But like playing it, like the rest of the game was just fuck. I don't know how I even want this to end now. This is horrible.
And I can't wait to talk about the endings. We'll get there. Yeah, because we learned pretty quickly that what actually happened the day Mari died was Sunny and Mari were having a fight at the top of the stairs in their home, and Sunny pushed her, and she fell and broke her neck. More than likely, we don't have confirmation that she broke her neck, but I mean
she died.
That's what makes sense. She died falling down the stairs, and Sunny proceeded to make her death look like a suicide. Brought her out back,
and
tied a jump rope.
I believe the implication is that was Basil's
whole thing.
Yeah, that was Basil's
there.
Suggestion to like make it look like a suicide.
Yeah,
and that's why Basil also feels guilt over it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why it's tied it up with the both of them. Which, real quick, good job, Lorelai, for calling something with Mari in the stairs. on the first episode. Um,
But yeah, just slowly slowly uncovering all the photos of Sunny dragging her back up the stairs, putting her in her bed, checking for a pulse, and then just crying next to her bed. It's just a lot. It's fucked up.
Yeah, and like the photo of him holding her dead corpse, and the next photo of him looking down at his hands, and you're just like, he's a fucking kid, man.
Yeah,
He
was what, 12 when this happened?
12.
Yeah, he's a kid, and he's obviously very upset about what has happened, and also very scared of what could happen to him, which is why Basil comes up with this plan to hang her from the tree outside and make it look like a suicide. And that's why he has not gone outside in 4 years, because he is dealing with the guilt. The something that he's dealing with all the time is his guilt, because nobody else knows. Well, we'll get into it.
But what's crazy is the something that, that Basil has hinted at, like he says to Sunny and Omori, like different times throughout this, of like, you see it, like you understand what this is. And like, you don't understand until you get the context behind it all, of like, oh, he understands exactly what that something is. There's something between both of them, and that's why the something is always trying to drag Basil down. And Omori knows that because he knows that he was witness to it, and that's why none of the other characters in the dream space ever really understand what's going on or why he's gone. And I love that connection. I think it's so fucking good. Like there is something between them that is legitimately dragging them down, and that metaphor is so fucking good and so well done. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, and the entire situation is handled with such tact. This is something that a lot of different writers could write, and it wouldn't come out great because it's such a strong, emotionally strong situation to put your reader in, or your player. Whether it's whatever this is, whether this story is trying to be put into a movie, a game, a book, whatever it is. Trying to put the experiencer of that medium in that emotional state is a delicate situation. I think it's done really well here.
In two contexts too, right? And one being that you, the player, are essentially the villain, and have caused all of the issues that your entire cast have been experiencing up to this point. And then two, in the context of a child, and dealing with this as a child, and how we repress these feelings and we don't know how to talk about things, and how that leads into depression and anxiety, and how it fractures relationships and changes people, and like these things that kids can go through that will affect them going forward in their lives if they aren't dealt with correctly. And it's like you said, it's handled with so much tact. It's incredible. Like, I don't want to get to like the ending or rating it or whatever, but like this is like top 10 games of all time for me. This is so fucking good.
Yeah,
it's incredible. Like the writing is incredible.
I agree. It's up there for me.
Yeah. We'll get to it at the end with scores and stuff. But like you're saying, it's incredible the way they pulled it off. It is also like, it is just that I want to meet this person that made this game because they're very smart. Like the fact that it is a twist at the end of the game that you find out that you were the one that killed Mari. Like, I don't think this game works if you learn that from the beginning, not just from a story perspective, but from like a base standpoint of, if I start a game and my character immediately kills a child, I have no relation to that character. I can't put myself in their shoes. But putting it as something at the end that you learn and recontextualizes the entire game for subsequent playthroughs is amazing.
Yeah, because it's like, it does it like, again, 2 times where like you're like learning that, oh, this kid's just trying to deal with his sister's death. And then literally like 10 to 15 minutes later, depending on how quickly you get through this last day, it's like, oh, he's not just dealing with her death, he's also dealing with the fact that he's a fucking murderer and covered it up.
Yeah.
So
and that not just that he did that, but how it affected the people around him that he loved at that time. How it affected Aubrey, how it affected Kel, how it affected Hero, how it affected Basil and his parents and the entire community of people that he was interacting with.
And the fact that he had somebody in cahoots with him the whole time. That shared knowledge was between them and nobody knew. It's, man, learning that, so good. That twist is so fucking good. I mean, it's not a good thing, but it's good.
Yeah. So So after you find all the pictures, you go through a process of like finding these pictures and losing your fingers. Oh god. And you come to the full photo book, the recreation of Mari's scene of death, and then you wake up in the middle of the night. And this is where the different endings can start to happen from this point. So by looking up the walkthrough and knowing how the endings went, I know I got the good ending.
I also got the good ending.
I also got the good ending.
Okay, so we can all talk, at least we'll go forward with the good ending. We'll talk about the other endings later. So we go to Basil's door and we find Basil mid committing suicide.
Yep.
And Sonny and Basil fight. God damn it. This was so hard to talk about.
The stress meter.
Yeah. And because I tried not to fight Basil, right?
Yeah.
Like I didn't want to hurt Basil at all. I was trying all my skills, but like as you use them, they're just ineffective. Like all of a sudden you don't remember how to calm down. You don't remember how to persist. You don't remember how to overcome. All of those are useless in this moment for you. So you wind up attacking Basil. You both faint. You hear some ambulances. And in like your dream state, you follow Meow the cat.
Yes, real quick, in that fight with Basil, I love, it's a little touch, your energy bar just keeps saying in cursive, everything is going to be okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, once you get to a certain stress level. Yeah.
Great.
That's very good. And you go back, you follow Meow back to your house. Basil's there, you talk with him, he gives you a hug, you go inside your home. This is when you pull out the key and you go to the toy box and find your broken violin with bloody sheet music.
Yeah, and it says there's like blood on your violin and black hair tangled in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Because the night Mari died was the night you and her were supposed to have a big recital with her playing piano and you playing violin. And
yeah. And I think this is also where you can like see your mom sitting on the couch and you talk to her and she just says like something about you being her only son. Like I think it implies that like she and maybe the dad as well, who seems to not be in the picture anymore, are aware of what happened. Because I mean, somebody has to, because if there's blood and hair missing and stuff, like it is obvious to whoever first found Mari's body that she did not just hang herself. Something else has happened.
Yeah. You head to the piano room and have a conversation with Mari. She talks about mistakes, how it's tough to move past them, but you need to be able to forgive yourself, that she's always there for you. And oh no, this is where memory lane happens according to the walkthrough.
Yeah.
Okay.
The whole ending of this is like such a tangle of go here to a dream section, go here to a dream section, go here to a dream section, walk into this, relive a memory, relive something. It's a
lot. Getting to the end of the road, you come to the backstage of a theater, which is where all your friends are supporting you for the big show, the big recital with for you tonight.
Yep.
And now Sonny has to battle Omori.
So good. That's such a good fucking smart thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because so Omori was just a made up personification of himself that he used to escape his real world actions. And the fact that like this is it, like you're battling this made up character that you created to live with the things that you've done.
Yeah.
Now you have to legitimately battle it for your own like sanity, basically, to get yourself back. Fucked up.
Yeah, Omori is like the version of himself he created to not be guilty. Like Omori did not commit those crimes, right? He wants to be Omori or whatever, but you have to not be attached to that. You have to kill Omori and accept that you're Sunny. You killed Mari, but you have to move on from it.
Yeah.
The violin music here is fucking incredible.
It's very good.
Yep.
And this fight is very good because, as we know, Omori just does not succumb.
No.
To like anything ever throughout this whole game as while we're playing as him. So you beat him. Reading the walkthrough, it sounds like you can let him beat you, and then you get the game over screen. You can get the game over screen a few times. I only wound up getting it once.
I also only got it once. But I also want to talk about this battle real quick because I think it's super cool how you get to use the violin and like you get the different skills. Like you still have calm down, but like you get like different skills to increase your juice or whatever. I think that's super cool.
And you get the violin related skills. And I also think there's a fun symbolism of like music fighting violence here because Omori still has the knife. Yeah, like music being a way to help fight that and escape and work your way through things.
Yep.
So I wound up like taking down Omori like 6 times, maybe 7, before I got to the game over screen.
Yeah, I don't know how many times it was.
Something like that. I didn't count exactly, but it felt like a lot. So when I finally got game over, I was immediately ready to there's like this just a play. Right, there's a final like song you get to play on the violin that does Omori in. I think that I believe, right?
That sounds right. I don't remember exactly. I know when you get a game over.
It's on the final phase, and then you come back after you get the game over. You say yes, you come back, and then you can't die or whatever, and then you get to play the song that you and Mari were going to play during your recital. And that's how you defeat him. And that shit fucked me up.
Yeah, the cutscene. Like there's cutscenes, like just memories of Mari going through Sunny's head, you know, imagining the recital that would have happened that night.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
and once we've defeated Omori, we wake up in a hospital room. We've got an eye patch on one eye, headband on. Depending on how many people you helped in town, there's a bunch of different flowers in town wishing you well. You leave your hospital room, head out, and you see 3 imaginary friends walk up and Basil's shadow walk down. I immediately just went down Basil's shadow. I don't know if you chased your friends first.
I also went after Basil's shadow.
Yeah, same.
You get down to Basil's room, and you find all your friends there with Basil, and it just cuts to Sunny's face. Black screen just says, "I have to tell you something."
Yep.
And then credits with a great song.
And I'm just left like crying at this point. It's just like,
and then if you did everything the right way, you get one more small cutscene with Basil finally waking up as well, and him and Omori just look at each other and smile.
Yeah.
It's like, what a great way to cap that shit off.
Yep. Yeah, they really nailed that.
By a cat over here.
Yeah.
Cat's trying to take your eye out.
Yeah, and then after the credits, the part that brought me closest to tears, I didn't end up crying at this game, and I actually cry pretty easily at games, but like the part that brought me really close to tears is when he comes back up on the main menu screen and it's in color with Sunny instead of Omori. And that's just that's really great. Fantastic.
There was another moment. The menu changed. I saved like with 1 day left, and when I came back, it was just a red menu with Omori there. And I was like, oh,
that's
I didn't see that.
Yeah, so that's the good ending, where both Sunny and Basil make it through that night. Maybe a little worse for wear, and Sunny, comes to the realization that life can get better, but only if you accept what you've done, move on, and don't. When you bottle those emotions up, they just get worse. You have to confront them and move through them.
Yep.
And I think the good ending is better when you know what the bad and neutral endings are. Because after I beat the game, I'm like, well, what are the other endings like? And I was like, oh, this really is the good ending.
Yeah, I looked them up too.
Yeah, because it's very not good. Like some of the neutral endings are Basil committing suicide and Sunny just moving away, and like in the cutscene where you're leaving your house, there's just ambulance sirens in the distance.
Yeah, the worst ending is when you just give up after Omori kills you and Omori takes over your real body and just flings you off the roof of the hospital.
Yep. There's also a neutral double suicide ending where you'll stab yourself, which I guess is better than throwing yourself off the hospital roof. Yeah, this game is very not afraid to go into extremely dark places. Which is, it's a very colorful game, so it's aesthetically.
Yeah, I mean, the most impressive thing about this game is that the Dreamworld stuff, like, if this game was just the Dreamworld stuff and they completely cut out Sunny and the real world and all the emotional depth, it's still like a fantastic throwback JRPG that works really well. And if they cut out all the Dreamworld stuff, this fantastic throwback JRPG, it's like this great, visual novel style game. But they have both of these things mashed together and they work perfectly in unison. And that's what makes this just a staggering video game.
Yeah, exceptionally well done. I keep coming back to just how well the writing is and how well they handle these topics. That is the one thing that sticks in my mind so strongly for this game is this topic has been handled by a lot of other mediums, and rarely is it handled so well and so accurately and written in such a way that it feels really real. Where even if I can't connect to this exact situation, I totally understand how this exact situation came up in someone's life. I can totally see this process of events happening to someone and going through just this terrible period of life, they really did such a phenomenal job. Really, OMOCAT, which is the production team, amazing, really great job.
Yeah, how many devs were on this game? Because I know I saw like a gameplay demo from as far back as 2014. It's been in development a long time.
I think it was just one guy.
That's the impression I get, but I didn't do any research into it. But yeah, like, regardless of how many people worked on it, just ridiculously good.
Yep.
Yeah, Tyler, any other thoughts? We were going a little bit while you were fighting a cat.
Yeah, I apologize. I had to miss the whole ending discussion. Nothing. I mean, there's nothing else that we could really say that is really going to solidify this for what it is. You have to really play it to experience it. It's just a completely unique game that I cannot believe I have not heard about. It's absolutely wild that more people have not talked about this game. I think it is emotionally resonant with anybody. Anybody can relate to any of the characters in this game and what they have to deal with, and growing up and moving on and accepting things that you can't control and that you can control, and taking responsibility. And there's so many themes you can find in this game to correlate to everyday life. And it's handled with such grace and intelligence and so smartly done, and everything about it just is great. It's a great game on top of a great story.
Yeah. I feel like right now it feels like yelling into the void telling people to play this game, especially with all the games releasing. But when this comes to consoles, like, I will be in everybody's DMs telling them, hey, you need to play this game. Every freaking games journalist out there, I'm going to be in your Twitter DMs telling you, hey, cover this fucking game now, please. For the love of God, it deserves it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, if OMOCAT would made one mistake with this game, it's releasing it on Christmas Day, which I think they probably did intentionally because it's thematically fits. If you look at the photo book, like the game technically begins on Christmas Day, getting the violin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I think that's why a lot of people don't even realize it exists.
Yeah. That, and I mean, for the time being, it's relegated to the PC crowd.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, there's a lot of PC gamers, but with that release date, with the lack of coming to other consoles at launch, it's a little bit easier to miss. And being an indie game, not every indie game gets coverage, unfortunately, in our world. But man, this is one that, when this drops on console, I'm gonna be hitting up a lot of people. I'm gonna be all over the Discords. Like, y'all need to play this. This is one of the greatest games.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Anyways,
so I think we're all in agreement. Amazing game.
Yep, great game.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait for the video version of this, and we can just see the fucking chaos happening in the background as I mute my mic and run away 18 times.
I hope nobody watched this without playing the game, because they absolutely should have played the game. But if you did, still go play the game. I mean, we're planning to replay it at some point, so like, it's still a great game. Still play it.
Yeah. I can see multiple playthroughs of this in the future for myself. Like, it's just a fun world to, like, the dream world's just a fun world to run around in. It feels like a good RPG.
The fact that, like, if you take a certain route, you can extend that playtime is awesome.
Yep. Yeah, I definitely want to see some of the different things that happen in the Hikikomori route for sure.
Yeah, there's an ending that, I don't want to spoil it, but you can end the game like super quickly.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And that stuff's cool.
But I guess that's about it. Yeah, definitely go play this game. If you listen to all this and didn't play it, I implore you, go play this.
For the love of
God. But let's do scores. Who wants to go first?
10.
10. 10 out of 10. Great game.
Absolute 10. Yeah.
And 10s do not come lightly from me. This is like maybe the 4th 10 ever for me.
Yeah. No, one of a handful.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I've given out more than 10 10s. So, top 10 10s. I mean, it's hard to put into words. You have to play it. I mean, I know that we try to put it into words, but can't really convey the message in the game for what it is until you play it, and
the emotional impact it has on you.
Yeah, and how opposite so much of it is, like the dream world and the real world, and how those things play off each other. It just, God, it's so fucking smart. It's so smart. Makes you feel stupid that, like, you can't create something that good. It's like, why can't I make something that good?
Yeah,
it's incredible.
No, this is one of those few, like, perfect games. I don't know what they would really change to make it better.
Yeah, I mean, I think my thing is that, there are some spots where it's like, oh, the game drags a little here and there, but this is a game that transcends some of the things it does wrong. This is a very different case. It's definitely not like a 10 out of 10 game, but I think Guardians of the Galaxy I'm playing right now transcends a lot of the things wrong with it to be a really good game. This transcends a few little things that I had problems with, that it doesn't matter. It's still a 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 dog
Tyler
barking.
Good Hector. Did you guys get the...
Every time I try to record at any other time, it's fine. And we're like, hey, let's record early. And then it's like, oh, hell's going to break loose in your fucking house at the same time.
Did you guys get the cutscene where you play fetch with Hector?
Yes.
I don't think so.
You find him, right?
Yeah. If you find Hector, you can go back and interact with his doghouse outside of Kel's house and play fetch with him for a little while. It's fun. Just to end on a lighthearted note.
Burp, burp, burp.
So thank you, everyone, for listening in. Just go play Omori. Really do. We've said it 1,000 times at this point, but seriously.
We're gonna get 0 views because I'm gonna put on everything. Don't watch this unless you play the game, for the love of God.
Which, I mean, there's some people that don't care and are going to watch it anyway. Still go play this game. It is, even hearing what happens, it is an experience unto itself.
I say play it and watch this at the same time. You can see how right and or wrong we are. But we'll be right, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, we're always right. Thank you. But thank you for joining us as we descended into a little bit of mental insanity for this game club.
Yeah, weird that the game all about mental insanity and stuff. Not only is Tyler's house chaos, but our recording has been broken like 5 times tonight.
Yeah, it's been a hell of an episode. It's really evolved over the course of the hour or so. So
yeah, but I'm glad we got through it, because
I'm glad you picked this game, Ryan.
I'm glad it won. I didn't realize exactly what we were in for when I was picking it. I just knew that it looked like a fun enough JRPG that had psychological horror elements, but I did not expect a all-time favorite game for me when I picked it.
Yeah.
So yeah. Well, let's do some plugs. What do we got? Tyler, what do we got for plugs?
We have Wasted every Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Tom and I are playing through Bloodborne right now. Did our first playthrough last week for Beers and Beasts. The okay game. Some of you love it. Some of us don't. But we're having a good time playing it.
One of my handful of 10 out of 10s.
Yeah, we will play that game while drinking beers for your enjoyment. It's great. And then we'll talk about it on the podcast directly afterwards, called The Last Call, which we just dropped episode 9 this week, where we get drunk, we talk about things, and Ryan and Chris are there.
Yeah.
It's fun. My cat kills me.
Chris?
Yeah, give us a sub on the YouTube channel. We appreciate it. I think we're up at 42 now. We're getting close to being able to name our channel. I think it's 50. Genetics scared me, said it's 100. I don't know about that. Hopefully he's an idiot. Well, I mean, I know he's an idiot, but hopefully he's an idiot in that way.
Well, just don't push him down any stairs and try to frame it.
We've never been wealthy enough to live in a house with stairs. But yeah, that's it for me. That's it for plugs that I need to do.
All right, and check out our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Spelunkers. We've got a lot of streams going, a lot of nights of the week. I do Pokemon on Tuesdays. Chris and I do Resident Evil on Wednesdays. For the time being, it'll be just Chris eventually if you don't like hearing me talk about games for whatever reason. As Tyler already alluded to, we got Wasted on Saturdays and something on Sunday. A good handful of us usually get together, play something co-op on Sunday, and just have a good time. Our next game club is Fez.
Yeah.
Woo, 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 woo.
Thank you to Footbot for donating to charity and picking our next game club game. We're going to be doing this in one episode on... When are we doing that one again? It's
December 2nd? December 2nd.
December 2nd. Yeah, so if you're going to play along with us, make sure to have it beaten by December 2nd. And leave your comments, thoughts, questions in our Discord or on our Gmail. It's blunkerspodcast@gmail.com. If you did play through Omori with us, we hope you are recovering just like we all are. And we will catch you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.